Hello guys and welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing the movie Soul from Disney's Pixar. It came out Christmas Day. It came out on Christmas from Disney on Disney Plus. Yes, we are going to be reviewing this movie. This video is coming a little late because, of course, Christmas and all of that. But yeah, I was really excited to watch this film, and I was really excited to do this video. And well, in today's video, that's what we're gonna be talking about. And I have to be honest, people are praising this movie and saying this is one of the best films that they've seen of the year and stuff like that. And it's I really liked the film. I really did, but it's not the best film I've seen. It's not the greatest film I've seen. And let me just start this with that, okay? This is a fantastic, amazing film with a really important lesson that I think people coming off of the year 2020, a lot of people actually kind of needed this lesson. I would say even I needed the lesson a little bit. I really enjoyed the film, but I have to be honest with you. Back in, I believe it was 2018, 2019, there was a D23 and this movie was announced, and there were two Pixar films announced. There was the movie Onward and the movie Soul. And people looked at Onward, it looked like a very cute film, but then people heard Soul. What's that about? The word soul. What, are we going to get the soul of Pixar? Well, what is that going to be, Let's see what this movie Soul is going to be about. And so a lot of people kind of hopped over Onward and went straight to Soul. And it's really funny because while everyone was talking about Soul, I was sitting here looking at what Onward was about, and I'm like, wow, this looks fantastic. And Soul is supposed to be even better than Onward? Wow, that's going to be amazing. So I was really hyped for Soul, but I watched Onward, and Onward is such a fantastic film. Now this is going to go into an Onward review, huh? No, what Onward was really about was it was really interesting. Imagine a magical world with elves and unicorns and everything else. A world that is losing their magic to modern day. And what was that going to be like? It sounded so interesting. It looked really, really cool. And then the whole other message that's really in that film about the fatherhood and losing a loved one and how that really affects you. I really, really got attached to the movie Onward, and I really love that film. Onward is a movie that I really feel like people are not praising enough. And granted, as Onward came out, then COVID kind of started. It got really, really bad after that. But Onward came out in the theaters, and it just wasn't making the big bucks. Not a lot of people seemed interested in this movie, and I swear, after watching it, I wished I had the chance to go to the theaters for it. I did not because at the times, not only was COVID getting bad, but I had other stuff I had to do at the time. So I had literally the week I was going to go and ask my grandma, because my grandma likes Pixar too. I was going to ask her if she wanted to go and watch the movie with me. Um, the day I was going to ask her that was the day COVID got bad. It was still in theaters at the times, and it was still making money. I just feel like a lot of people skipped Onward for Soul, and I was kind of wondering why. Well, Soul has to be such a fantastic film, and now it's kind of like if it's not as great of a film, well, then it's gonna be kind of a letdown. was Soul kind of a letdown? I'm gonna be honest. I expected, maybe it's just because of the type of moviegoer I am. It's really kind of weird as an adult. I find myself, I don't know if other people find this as an adult either. Remember, I'm an adult watching kids' movies, right? But the fact is, the reason why I love Pixar, the reason why I love kids' movies, the reason why I am searching for good stories, I'm just trying to find a little bit of that childhood in me, right? That little child in me that loves, Star Wars and stuff like that, and anything that connects to my the little child in me, and make me really happy as an adult, as well as tell fantastic, amazing stories, then I'm really into it. I mean, Disney does such fantastic work, or at least used to do such fantastic work with great stories that always just attach to your childhood, and it's fantastic. It's amazing, right? Um, and I was really expecting Soul to do this as well. Now, let me say this straight. If this movie came out of anywhere else, say DreamWorks or something, this movie would obviously be the best movie in the repertoire. But the fact is, this movie comes from Disney. Not just Disney, but Disney Pixar. Disney Pixar with their amazing in creativity and storytelling. This is the studio that gave us such great films as Nemo, Wall-E, The Incredibles movie, Toy Story, not just one but four very good Toy Story movie. Oh, okay, I'll be honest with you, I didn't like Toy Story 3, and I was kind of rolling my eyes at the thought of Toy Story 4, but God, I really love Toy Story 4. And when I saw Onward, oh my God, I love this movie. I love this movie. People do not give Onward enough love. I think it would be like in my top 5 Pixar movies. Like, I'd say it's number 5. If it's not number 5, it's like number 6, because it's really close. I really loved Onward. And even their worst movie, which is The Good Dinosaur, I actually watched that film, and it's really not as bad as people say it is. So here we go. We got a movie between The Good Dinosaur and Onward. Where does Soul fit? Is Soul better than Onward, or Soul below The Good Dinosaur? Okay, I'm being a little harsh there. No, Disney's Soul is far better than The Good Dinosaur, but I really liked The Good Dinosaur too. I really liked Soul, but I feel like while the lesson of this movie was very important, they didn't do as much creativeness with the film as I imagined they would, as I kind of hoped they would. In other words, Soul is a fantastic, amazing film with a great lesson, and will go down probably in history as one of Disney Pixar's best films. But as for me, it's not the amazing, creative, world enveloped creativity that I've seen from him. Think of Monsters Inc. Here's a world of monsters in a town with small monsters, big monsters, hairy monsters. How creative could you be? What could you do with that? And on top of that, you have to do all of that. You have to juggle the world of creativeness along with great storytelling. And by God, they pulled it off. What about Nemo? This world of fish and coral and the great ocean with sharks and jellyfish. And what adventures could you tell in that world, as well as telling a story about the process of grief, of the process of a father trying to find his son lost in literally the entire ocean, and traveling the entire ocean to get him back, while through it, understanding the loss of his family, and by the end, accepting that his son, even though he doesn't actually go anywhere, accepting that his son can do something of his own. He's always just too protective of a father, and it led to this entire problem. And I love the story of Nemo. You're juggling that with the creativeness of the world, and you pulled it off. It's such an amazing story. They're such good story writers. And I'm sorry, but so wasn't that creative. Like, I've seen films like this. I've heard of films like this. And I think the story was about average. Now, don't get me wrong. Story is very important. The story of Soul really was all about, the lesson of Soul really was all about how people, they expect one big thing to be the pinnacle of their life, but the pinnacle of their life really is the smaller, more important moments, like eating your favorite pie, listening to your favorite music, hanging out with your family and your loved ones. It's the small moments in life that really make life worthwhile. And that's the lesson of this movie. And I've seen this lesson in so many other films, and I love it. But I've also seen more creative films than this. And I think you could tell the exact same lesson and be a little bit more creative. But they didn't really do that. I still love this film. This film has such great animation, and the story, again, without telling really any big spoilers, the lesson from this film is really about the small moments in life. Here we have our main character, and he wants to be a big musician on stage, and that's what he thinks the pinnacle of his life will be. And he gets that, and he realizes that's not necessarily what it was all about. And here he in fact even dies, and and before he has a chance to play, he sees his life play out, and he's like, huh, my life was this boring? No, I have to go back. I have to fix my life. Meanwhile, we have of course, 22, someone who is unborn, someone who doesn't understand life, kind of just wants to help him get out of the way. She just doesn't really like anything. She doesn't understand what life really means, and it's such a great film because it teaches both 22 what life is about, as well as our main character Gerald. And he eventually, by the end of the film, understands that no, his life wasn't about becoming a musician. His life was the smaller moments, just eating that favorite piece of pie, just hanging out with his mom, listening to the barber, the guy who does hair, barber talk about his life. Now, his dream wasn't to become a barber, but he's happy with the way his life turned out because of his family. It's the small moments of life that creates your life. It's the small moments of life that really are important, and that's the main importance of this film. And I think the lesson for 2020 is really, really important, really, really big, because we were all pretty much on each other's nerves. Now, should this movie really have come out as a Christmas movie, though? I think during the holidays were already sappy enough, and then you put this on. Honestly, it's a good film, but I don't think it captures the magic of childhood like I was expecting, or captures the magic of life. as I was expecting. It definitely captures and tells you the lesson. It's so obvious what the lesson is in this movie, um, but it's still creative. It's still fun. I just think it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. And so I think Soul might be somewhere in the middle. That is just me, though. For me, it was a very good film, but it's not Pixar's best work. And I don't. I'm not praising it as much as everyone else seems to be. But don't get me wrong. If you haven't seen it yet, I definitely would consider watching Soul. Just don't expect this to capture the childhood or the magic of life because it really didn't. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye again. Soul, fantastic movie.